Welcome back to another video. If you want to identify one of the most important things that you can do in your life, it's to identify your favorite flavor of distraction. You want to identify your favorite vice. So, what is that? Maybe it's food, maybe it's not exercising, maybe it's entertainment, maybe it's television, maybe it's Netflix, maybe it's partying, maybe it's drugs. You have to really identify what is it that pulls you away from everything that you can enjoy in the present moment and anything that's going to move you forward. So, one of the best exercises is to really sit and think to yourself, okay, so if I want to build my life in a specific way, either pursuing my purpose, being on the straight and narrow path, or taking pauses to recharge my energy in a healthy way that's going to help me come back stronger and better than before. What is getting in the way? What is the main obstacle that I need to overcome in order for me to execute on a daily basis, whatever it is that I want to execute, whether that's getting better with my relationships? Because here's the thing, your vice may be negative thinking, it may be the way you use your mind to construct stories that are not true, it may be the conditioning of your past, how you were spoken to, how you were treated, how you internalize that dialogue, and how you basically allow that to run your life without knowing it unconsciously. So this is not something that you should ever stop pursuing and trying to discover, because you may not know exactly what you may find out what the answer is, but you may not be able to always put that in practice. But more importantly, you can't make any change without being aware of what needs to be changed first. So the first step is to really run through your life, through your own external life and your internal life with a fine-tooth comb to find out where are your weaknesses, where are you most challenged, where are you struggling the most, where do you feel like you're lagging a little bit. And not because you want to poke holes and be critical and judgmental, it just you really want to do an analysis of, it's kind of like a SWOT analysis. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are the opportunities available to you right now? What are the threats, internal and external? Right? This is a classic type of business analysis that you can do. And you can do that on your life. Because again, as far as like the strengths and the gifts and the orientation, the interests that you have, the passions that are stimulated within you, a lot of that has to do with the world showing you, or God, the universe showing you what your gifts potentially could be and how you can manifest those in the world. Like what's drawing you, what's drawing the energy out of you. So what do you want to pursue that has an impact that goes beyond just you? And a lot of times that is going to come through the your own healing of the pain that you're feeling. So by virtue of you going through difficult moments, going through darkness, going through pain, going through suffering, and then pulling yourself out of that, to the degree that you can do that, you can share that with other people. And everybody does that in different ways. A lot of people there are just really good at technical skills or really good with working with their hands. And because they're always focused on something that's productive and helpful, that's good for them and other people, they actually, that is their contribution. But that also simultaneously keeps them away from the vices. It keeps them away from things that are destructive. Now, conversely, there are people that have discovered what their gifts are, but they never are able to reveal them to their highest potential because they are being held back by their vices. In fact, there's a recent documentary on this MMA fighter who was a fighter while he was still drinking every day, that he was basically a borderline alcoholic. So sometimes we can engage in things that are not healthy, but because we're still performing at some level, we don't know how much that activity is actually hurting our progress. And so, and again, that activity could be anything that you feel gets in the way, but you already know what it is. So in this particular case with this fighter, and this is true in your life, is that He knew it. It's not that you don't know it. You know it. You just find reasons and justifications and rationalizations that you can use because, you're an intelligent being to convince yourself that it's not a problem. But the best thing that you can do is to create awareness around when you're actually doing that. So when you're using your brain in this way to justify a specific behavior or a vice, a way of thinking, a way of being, a way of doing, then you can pause and realize, oh, I see what I'm doing. I have a deep intrinsic feeling, an intuition that is calling me to move away from this or to find a way to fix it or heal it or integrate it or move beyond it. That is a signal that that is what needs to be done. Because once the rationalizations kick in, then you're basically excusing yourself from needing to change. So the best thing that you can do is just be hyper aware of what's going on in your life, because that is going to be the biggest indication of where you need to put your attention and what you need to either heal or resolve or change or move away from or rediscover, um, weaknesses that you need to fill, opportunities that you need to take, vices that you need to stop, and things of that nature. So, uh, this is really just a bit of a wake up call as far as, okay, maybe you're watching this and there's something that is occurring right now. The best thing that you can do is take a pause for about 5 minutes and then start to think about all the things that are getting in the way of you living the life that you want to live, having the relationships that you want to have, or feeling the way that you want to feel, right? Write down all the things that are getting in the way. And that way, at least you're aware of what's happening. So that way, when you start to engage with those activities, your brain is starting to make connections as far as what is happening and why that's happening. And once you discover that, once you become aware of it, the solution oftentimes is going to present itself to you. And as far as all the tools and stuff, we actually talk about that all the time. I talk about it on this channel. You can join my school community as well. It's free. And there's already about 20 members in there. So I encourage you to join if you haven't already. And we're also doing group calls. So we do live calls where we can actually go do deep dives. In fact, I just had another one today, and we did a deep dive, on someone's business, which was pretty cool. So yeah, I just want to leave you with that and just make sure that you create that level of awareness. That way, you know specifically what needs to be dealt with. And that way, you're not confusing or tricking yourself into thinking that everything is cool when in fact, you know deep down that something isn't right. So if you like this video, make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel, join me on school. And that's it. If you have a question or a comment, make sure you leave it in the comment section as well, because I read all of them and I also record videos based off the comments. And that's it. Hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you soon.